will be able to work for Kirinyaga while continuing to give my services also to the nation of Kenya. Gote Kirinyaga, gote na Kenya. Nioboroma. Kwa hivyo, zote wazalendo tufanyie local and we also do for national.
Well, it's the interview you have been waiting for. Analysts say that Narc Kenya Party leader Martha Karua has been seemingly sending mixed signals caught between party and coalition, between county and country. Now, is she running for a gubernatorial seat in Kirinyaga or for a national seat? Is it with Narc Kenya or Oka? As you've guessed, it's a night of many questions here on Newsnight, and the party leader is live with us here in studio this evening. Martha Karua, many thanks for joining us on the program tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Asante sana. I actually will shortly get into the substantive discussion of your plans. But first things first, I'd actually like to hear a bit from you about what's been happening in the country. As a national leader, I believe you have your views as well on some of the developments that we are seeing this evening. For example, we've just seen over the last 2 days a very public exchange between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. What do you make of this?
I've said that by bringing their wars to the public arena, they both disrespect us as their voters. As leaders, they must look for a way to have minimum conditions for working together. And if they find it completely untenable, then the government should resign and we get new leadership. But so long as they continue to carry the flag of the presidency, they must, in their public conduct and utterances, honor the offices they hold and honor Kenyans, honor and respect Kenyans. It is total disrespect to have that sort of exchange.
As a senior politician in the land, are you convinced? Do you have an idea or an inkling of what actually went wrong? Because I think that still remains the big question.
I have no idea. But I've seen these exchanges which only bring tension to the country between the people who support the various factions. And I think it's totally unhealthy. This has been going on for a while, but I think it's getting worse by the day.
One of the questions that's come up, partly just off the back of what you've said, and I'd like to get your view on this. In your view, should a sitting president have an active role in determining who succeeds them? In
casting his vote, in many ways, nothing really wrong. I want to see how President Obama,
for a successor.
President Obama did campaign for Hillary, if I can remember.
After the nominations.
After the nominations.
But this is happening, I guess, before the nomination window is open around April.
But this is the electioneering period. But in our sort of context, if you go backwards, President Moi did show his hand in Uhuru's 2002 campaigns without good results. After him, President Kibaki, although it was common knowledge that he supported Uhuru, he didn't show his hand. We saw the late Michuki more than President Kibaki. And that did not draw any attention or tension. So I think it's for each president to determine, but maybe a more passive role would cause less tension.
So in your view, it's not ideal that a sitting president be active?
It's for everybody to decide. But it does appear that a passive role does,
Okay, speaking of a passive role, and some would say this is not a passive role, there are reports that the president will do a Mount Kenya tour soon to thank the electorate, to explain his future plans. What do you expect of such a tour with the forum that you now speak for as a spokesperson of the Mount Kenya Unity Forum?
I think he's doing that as president. He's not doing that as, Mount Kenya Unity Forum. And he's entitled to do as he pleases.
So what do you expect then of that tour? From where you sit?
I think from his recent utterances, he may, give his views on his succession. I don't know. But it looks like it may be that way.
You wait to see what will happen just like
that. Yes, I'm waiting to see just like everybody else.
And I want to get this topic out of the way, but the president, speaking over the last 2 days about development, has stated publicly that development does not happen on top of vehicles. Many assume that was a chide at his deputy. In your view, was that a fair comment?
I don't want to be made to interpret or comment on what the president has said, what his deputy has said. I have said that a public spat, in my view, is disrespect to us as their voters, for both holders of that office called the presidency. Yeah. Let's
switch gears from what the president has said, his deputy has said. You've said you don't comment more on that. Let's listen to what you said very recently in Kirinyaga, a comment on the role that you'd want to play, both at a local level, at the county level, and at the national level as well. Let's play that soundbite first.
Hatutaki tuambiwe that we have only 2 options in Kenya for leadership, that it is either or. Kenya has a rich menu of candidates. We have my brother, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, who has already declared. We do not know who else is going to declare before April. We have many people. We cannot be told that there are only 2 people. And I want to beg our brothers and sisters in the media, stop that narrative of 2 horses. There are more horses than 2. And we are going to give you a surprise. In the next 6 weeks, you will not be talking about 2 horses. You will be talking about the only horse. And I want to assure you that the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya is right now seated among us.
Very interesting series of statements, a loaded statement, so to speak, that you uttered there. And I want to back it up with a question by a viewer. Engineer Lazaro Kanyambok is saying this evening, the Iron Lady currently confusing her supporters and foes. She should declare one firm political stand. Is it the gubernatorial seat or something from the national level? That's a viewer out there who says, I'm a bit confused with a statement like that. I can give you a chance to clarify.
There's nothing to clarify. I've stated, and I'll continue to state, that I will continue playing both a local and a national role. And I'll say that right from the time I was elected as a member of parliament, I've always played both a local and a national role. I'm a leader of a national party. I must lead my party to look for like-minded so that we too can be at the table. As an individual, I have my interests and I can seek office, and I'm seeking office. So it is possible to play a dual role, and I continue playing that dual role.
Well, one role that sections of the media this weekend seemed to link you to is to a possible Raila Odinga, Martha Karua ticket. What are the possibilities of that?
I've actually said, I don't know why the media gets the obsession of asking third parties about running mate question. That is a question you ask the people running for the substantive positions. So if I say I'm running for governor and I have said so, you can't go around Kirinyaga asking people whether they wish to be my deputy. Ask me straight away who I intend to nominate as my deputy. Direct that question to the people who have already declared for presidency. It could be Ruben Kagame, it could be Raila Odinga, it could be William Ruto, it could be Kalonzo Musyoka, or even Justin Muturi. Ask them about their running mates.
Well, party leader, I mean, isn't it fair to ask you, would you then accept such a proposition? I mean, and you've said, fine, ask Honorable Raila Odinga, and if I get a chance to interview him, that's a question I'd ask him. But since you're the one who's here with me today, I would say, if the phone rings tomorrow and it's Raila Odinga on the line and he makes that offer, would you consider it?
I don't want to deal with hypothetical questions, but I want to say this. Once you've offered to serve the people of Kenya in whatever position, it means you are open to serve the people of Kenya. Anything else is a question of deployment.
End of story on that matter.
Yes.
And I say this because
Yeah.
You also then made a recent interesting political move. We saw you signing a deed of agreement with Oka on that matter.
Deed of assignment.
A deed of assignment, I beg your pardon for that.
Yes.
We have also heard that Oka could be in talks with Azimio. Can you clarify if that is true?
I think my colleague, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, has already said that there hasn't been formal talks. And that is the position.
So when you
But Oka is open to seek partnerships with other formations. So it is possible that in the near future, there will be such talks. We are open to talks.
So
remember, Oka is also talking to Mount Kenya Unity Forum. So people are looking for each other. This is the time of shifting and sifting. And there will be a lot of realignments between now and April.
So in the meeting that you then had, and we saw that whole photo session with leaders from Oka as well, specific coalition discussions did not happen in the run-up to that. Only your party and Oka sort of joining up. That was the only agenda on the table?
The Oka coalition, that is happening. But Oka and other formations as an entity, that is in the future.
What do you think was the impact of the exit of Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula from Oka, in your view?
I think it was, in a way, a loss. But
For
this is
which side?
But a loss for Oka and also for them, because you see, in the realignment, nobody is completely certain of what they are doing. But I would say that Musalia and Wetangula, my colleagues, were entitled to make the choice they made. And we must respect people's choices.
Did you ever receive an offer like they did to join in the Kenya Kwanza?
No, I have not. I think there is several things happen. You have
Please enlighten us.
You have to make yourself available for the offer. You see, there has to be moves from the person offering and from the person receiving. You know, some indication, some mutual indication of moving towards each other. You see, so it's not that politicians go offering every person on the road. You see, there are indicators that people are in courtship.
Okay.
No such courtship has occurred.
No such courtship has, but one occurred with Oka and you.
That one was open. We had visited Oka very publicly, and they had asked Narc Kenya to work with them, and also Mount Kenya Unity Forum, and we said we'll go and consult with Narc Kenya and Mount Kenya Unity Forum. And as a follow-up, I then went again with leaders from Mount Kenya Unity Forum. So some courtship, some talks, ongoing talks. So tomorrow, if Mount Kenya Unity Forum and Oka were to sit together, it will be as a result of that courtship. So these things don't happen just like that. There has to be some moves.
In that same gathering in Kirinyaga, where you issued that statement about serving Kirinyaga but also serving Kenya,
yes.
You also spoke of the possibility of the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya sitting amongst you.
It is a real possibility. In fact, I don't think it's fair for the media to talk of only 2 horses when there are several other people who have declared. And that's the point I was delivering home. But about possibility, we were seated there, several leaders who actually can make president.
So under this agreement, could you then support Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka, KANU's Gideon Moi? Those are 2 presidential aspirants. Are you open to supporting any of them?
Once Oka sits and nominates one, yes, they'll be supported. But if also Oka agrees with another formation, that is also open. These are possibilities.
When you look at that, and of course, also, and I want to tap into your legal mind a little bit on the same note.
Yeah.
Whoever, as presidential candidates go about seeking, whoever would be their running mate, and you said offers are being made, none has been made your way so far, and you choose to stay mum on that.
Nothing formal.
Anything informal?
Well, informal is like people wishing you well. isn't it? So if it's not formal, I mean, even in courtship, you don't go to report that somebody smiled at you. You report a proposal. So nothing to report. Nothing to report.
No. I'm going to circle back on that. But before that,
yes.
In terms of the Constitution, do you think Kenya has key learnings they should take away from what has been that chaotic interaction between the office of the president and the office of the deputy? And I look at this not just retrogressively, but also moving forward as presidential aspirants seek running mates. Did the Constitution create an indirect second center of power?
Not at all. I think what we need to adjust is our behavior as Kenyans. When you go to a public office, treat it as a public office. And the leadership and integrity section in the Constitution, Chapter 6, tells us how to behave, how to hold public office. We must not personalize. So people's disagreements should not be personalized. And if there are disagreements about work, there's a way out. You can impeach a president, you can impeach a deputy president, you can impeach a cabinet secretary. So if it has become that untenable, and you do not, it is not the entire government that is resigning, then let a formal method be used. But we cannot, as Kenyans, we cannot afford this moving forward, to be treated to such spectacles.
When you hear certain leaders saying the Constitution created, in a sense, co-presidents, where the president has a share and the deputy has a share, that doesn't tell you that there's a problem. For you, you say it's about...
I have not seen anything in the Constitution suggesting that. The deputy president is described as the principal assistant of the president. And the Constitution does not give him specific roles. It is the president who is supposed to give him. So it hasn't created a monster. It is our behavior that is making the relationship untenable. So Kenyans, as leaders, we need to modify our behavior. And if it completely becomes untenable, it is leaders who should give way, not the Constitution.
But some would say the reason we occasionally would change our Constitution is because of behavior that is seemingly proving hard to change. You know, human beings are ultimately flawed. Should the drafters of the Constitution be thinking through, could we have done a bit more to
Everything cannot be provided for in the Constitution. And rather than blame the Constitution, it's our political culture. This same scenario happens in the US. Happens in other countries which have a presidential system. And we haven't seen this kind of thing. Once in a while, disagreements do occur, even in the best of countries, but they're rare, and it cannot be over a prolonged period of time. Yeah. People really, if you think about the country, it is better to even not be talking. You go about your business without hurling words at each other. You know, it's not a good thing. It's like in a family where all that happens is fighting between the parents. It has adverse effect on the entire family and on the children. In a situation like this, the effect on the citizens is building of tension between the supporters of the president and his deputy. It is untenable. And I think if I was in that situation, I would be very measured in what I say. And I would not want to encourage public spat.
If you are in the...
if I ever was in a situation like that. And we always say that it is not always necessary that you answer back. You see, sometimes the salvo could be coming from the deputy to the president, or vice versa. It's not always necessary that any one of them answers the other.
Very, very interesting feedback there, Party Leader. I'll be reading some SMSs shortly, and we can prepare to project some of those. But this is one coming in from a viewer, Mount Kenya Unity Forum. They want to know, They're asking what remains of it. Moses Kuria appears to be maintaining a friendship with the Deputy President, William Ruto. William Kabogo of Jibebe appeared at Bomas on the 23rd of January alongside DP Ruto. You are in Oka, so all of you under Mount Kenya Unity Forum, but seemingly pulling in different directions.
I think we all forget the statement we made when we came together as the initial 3 leaders of the Mount Kenya Unity Forum. The statement we keep on repeating whenever we meet. We are not in that forum to discredit any candidate. And even when we came together, we were from different formations. Moses Kuria and Mwangi Kiujuri were at that time in the Deputy President's grouping. I was neither in Tangatanga or Kieleweke. I was on my own. But we came together with unity of purpose to uphold Mount Party politics and to also champion interests of the Mount Kenya region within the context of Kenya and the Constitution. We have continued to do that. And in every forum I address, I do tell the people, I'm not here to choose for you whom to elect. And we talk. But when we will have discussed with every county, and people go to a forum, the Rimuru 3 we were talking about, then a majority can decide which way they want to go. It still may not be 100% because people have a right to dissent. But at the moment, we have not taken a stand as a forum that that is the way. So if Moses Kuria shows leaning towards Deputy President, it is his right. If another person shows leaning towards another side, if I show any leaning, that is all right.
But party leader, surely there must be some standard operating procedure for a group that calls itself Unity Forum.
Unity of purpose.
So what's the purpose?
The purpose, 1, to defend multi-party politics. We are against calls of people to belong to one party, whatever that party is. And we are cautioning people and telling them to remain in their parties and to support multi-partyism. And we are reminding them of the dangers of making any party too strong. When one party is made too strong, they become autocratic. We have seen that when the president and his deputy had a coalition, each having their own parties, they had a very good relationship, or so we thought. They were wearing similar ties, similar shirts, high fives. The moment they abandoned their parties, built one bigger house, there's been so much fighting that we cannot remember peace in government anymore. So that should indicate that should we all flock to the so-called big parties, there will be nothing but oppressive behavior. We may return to the days of single party. Our constitution says Kenya is a multi-party republic. We are telling people to support that. We are then saying, what are the interests of Mount Kenya? The 3 interests that have so far been acclaimed, and the rest are left to the people to decide because they are universal. They are for every Kenyan. Security of the person and property. And I think that applies to every Kenyan. Equality and equity in distribution of resources and development. Equality and equity in representation. That is something every Kenyan would care for. They are right in the Constitution. There are other specific things each person will want depending on their circumstances.
What is the end game of the Mount Kenya Unity Forum?
Championing, I have already said, multipartyism, and that we have succeeded. Because everybody in Kenya, a majority now are talking of elect the person, not the party. The 6th piece is nothing but misery to the people. You shouldn't elect people merely because they're in the party of the president of your choice. And I keep telling people of Mount Kenya, we elected President Kenyatta willingly and overwhelmingly. But we are suffering when he's in office because we gave him specific duties, national duties. He cannot come and serve in our counties. So if you elect a governor merely because he's in the president's party, you will suffer. You must weigh the governor, elect them because they are capable. Elect the MCA because they are capable. You have elected a county government that is capable. And I give the example of Makueni, which when we were singing Tano Tena until our voices were hoarse, they were saying Nasa how. But they're getting better health services than Kirinyaga and than many other counties. So even if you elect a president of your choice and you do not elect a good county government, you will still not reap the fruits you expect. So we are telling people the person, not the party. And that has now gained universal acclaim in this country.
And you're telling supporters of Narc Kenya tonight, the person, not the party.
Yes, do not elect
that work
me.
Against your party?
No, do not elect Martha Karua or any other candidate merely because they're in Narc Kenya. Weigh them and see that they're fit for the job, or from any other political party. That I'm willing to say. I'm willing to be weighed for the job I apply for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of the feedback. This is what Kenyans are saying this evening. 22422 is the SMS line. Hashtag is Newsnight. Narc Kenya Party leader Martha Karua in studio. Duncan on DX says, kindly ask Martha if they decide as Oka leaders that they'll not support any political party, either UDA or Azimio, and the Azimio team decides to appoint her as the Azimio team running mate, what will she do? Okay? Do you take that immediately?
I think it is not possible in that sort of setup. If Oka, and Oka is open to coalitions with other formations, the side Oka chooses, because you must be compatible, unless if I leave Oka so that I walk alone. But we have found that if you want to go far, walk with others, not alone.
Okay,
yes.
Next one, 2242 is that SMS line. Let's take another tweet. I'll read SMSs shortly. Kipleting Manuela, which economic model does Martha Karua believe in?
How many economic models is he putting to me so that I say the one I believe in? I
must know your preferred, either
I
way.
believe in an economic model that works for the people. And the first issue, whatever economic model you propose, is that public resources must be safeguarded and utilized for the purpose of the people's needs and not abused. So whether you champion one economic model or the other, the bottom line is, without curbing corruption, your economic model will end up being an empty promise or sloganeering, because you'll not be able to achieve the things you promise. So for me, rule of law and fight against corruption are key in whatever economic model people agree on. So I'm telling the people, listen to what is being said. And it sounds good on either side. But the bottom line, unless there is a willingness and demonstrated plan of fighting corruption, know that those are empty promises.
Let me help Kipleting take that question a bit further ahead. One economic model that's been talked about quite a bit is the bottom-up economic model. Have you heard enough about it for you to say that it aligns with
I am not here to promote any economic model for any political party. Let those who believe in bottom-up come here and defend it. Let whoever else says a different model come here and defend it.
ODM leader Raila Odinga has a 10-point agenda, Baba Care, boosting rural economy. Have you heard enough about that?
There are some things that are said by those vying for presidency which resonate with me. Like if you talk about supporting those who are in need, it's already happening, partly. We have Pesa ya Wase, and Article 43 of the Constitution actually introduces social welfare for those in need. So scaling it up is not only good, but it's in the Constitution. So there are, if you get specific issues from the proposals given, then I would be able to tell you, yes, this one I'm with it. But I do not want to be here to champion the proposals or to discredit the proposals of any one person at the moment. When I choose sides, I will
When you choose sides, you will.
Yeah.
Fair enough, party leader. I know we want to talk about Kirinyaga a little bit. You're still saying all eyes on Kirinyaga. That remains your stand this evening.
Yes.
I've got a few questions for you on that. And also what's been happening in Parliament, political parties, amendment bill, and so forth. I'd be keen to get your view on that. But first, we need to take a short break. Let's take that break now. You're watching Newsnight. Stay with us. Narc Kenya Party leader Martha Karua. Some of you before the interview are asking, is it county or country? She says she can do both. We seek to understand that from her and talk about local and national matters on the program this evening. We're taking a short break. We'll be back with so much more on the other side. Stay with us.